to our third lesson of Spanish and Coffee, the opportunity to think and communicate in Spanish as a second language. In this lesson, we are going to talk about the pronouns, a very important aspect of grammar in Spanish. Personal pronouns are words that we use to replace nouns in the condition of agent or object. That is, you use pronouns to replace nouns in sentences in the aspect of who does the action. It's important to take into account that personal pronouns are a basic part of the sentence in most of the time we write or talk or read in Spanish as in English. Okay, what about the personal pronouns? The personal pronouns are a grammar kind of words that have three important aspects. First, the person, second, the number, and third, the gender. What is person? Person refers to the relation between the speaker and the persons who act, who do the action. Then we talk about three grammatical persons. First person, second person, and third person. First person refers to the person in which case the speaker is the same who does the action. That is, the person who is talking is the same person who is acting. In Spanish we have two special first person. Yo, that is in English I, and nosotros, nosotras, which are in English we. In Spanish we talk different for male, nosotros, and female, nosotras. This is the first person. That is, the person who talks is the person who acts, remember. The second personal pronouns, second person, refers to the listener. That is, the person who is listening to the conversation is the person who acts, or the person who we are talking about. In English, we have only one pronoun to talk about second person, you. But in Spanish, we have more of them. We have tú, usted, ustedes, vosotros, which shows the difference between both of them. First, we use tú in singular, referring to a person we have many confidence to talk with. We use usted when we are talking with a person we don't have enough confidence. And ustedes y vosotros are pronouns that we use in plural. Ustedes is the most common used, and vosotros is a special plural pronoun that are used in Spain or in Argentina. The third person refers to a person outside of the conversations who does the action. That is, the person who we are talking about is not in the conversation. The third person in English are he, she, and they. It, that is used in a neutral position. In Spanish, we have él, ella, ellos, ellas. They refer to male or female, singular or plural, according to the third person we are talking about. The second aspect we have to take into account in relation with the personal pronouns is number. Number refers to the quantity of persons we are talking about. If you are talking of one agent, we talk about singular person, and if you are talking about two or more agents, we are talking in plural. Okay? In Spanish, for singular, we have the pronouns yo, tú, él, ella. All four pronouns refers to only an agent. And in plural, we have nosotros, ustedes, vosotros, ellos, ellas. These five pronouns refers to two or more agents in the action. Third aspect we have to take into account about personal pronouns is gender. Gender is not so important in English, but it's so important in Spanish. Because in English you don't have any distinction between male or female grammatically talking. There is. In English you don't have distinction between male or female except in the third person of singular when you talk of he for male and she for female. But in Spanish we have some distinction about gender in other pronouns. Let's see. We use for male pronouns that refers to a man or a male object or a male animal, we have nosotros, we have vosotros, we have él, and we have ellos in Spanish, okay? Él, nosotros, vosotros, ellos. These four pronouns refers to male nouns. And what about female? In female case, we have ella, nosotras, vosotras, ellas. These four pronouns refers to male nouns, female nouns, sorry. I'm going to repeat. In Spanish, we have pronouns for male and female according to the gender of the agent or the noun we are talking about. Male, él, nosotros, vosotros, ellos. Female, ella, nosotras, vosotras, ellas. Okay? Okay, let's see. Why are important the use of pronouns? Pronouns are important because when you are talking or writing, when you are producing a text, maybe oral, maybe written, you have to take into account not to repeat so much times nouns. Then we can use the pronouns to avoid this wrong way to write. For instance, if you are talking about Maria, and you are going to say many things about Maria, you use the first times you refer to her, Maria, and the other times you can use ella. María es una buena amiga, ella vive en Colombia, ella es alta y agradable. Then in this case, ella replaces Maria in the following sentence after we talk the first time about Maria. What other thing is important of use of pronouns? Pronouns also are an economic way to use language when we talk or when we write. Okay? According to this new lesson, we are going to practice a little about pronouns. This practice needs you to replace in the sentence we are going to put in the exercise. You are going to write again them, but using the pronoun and not the noun. For instance, María es secretaria. You replace María in the second sentence and say, ella es secretaria. You can also practice and review the lesson in the website of Español Café or in your written material if you have. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. See you in the next lesson.